I was talking to Jesus' Luke Skywalker channel in the comments. I think he changed his name, Duke Joint. Anyway, I was telling him that I'm going to make an effort to try to pivot away from all the immigration talk and the race talk. It's just, there's no answer to it, and it just gets me upset. You know, I mean, I kind of pretty much said everything I need to say about that for a while. And there's a lot of people on YouTube now talking about it. You know, even using the same things that, hey, what's up, brother? Not bad. Have a good day, man. God loves us. And it's like I've said all the shit I need to say about it. And there's a lot of other people already on YouTube talking about that stuff. And using the same, you know, talking about the prefrontal cortex, talking about IQ, all the kind of stuff that I used to think a lot of people didn't know. It seems like a lot of people know now, because I think what happened is people looking for answers. Like, why is this happening? A lot of them don't understand the magic angle, so I think I could shed some light on that, and I have, and I will continue to do that. But I got to kind of pivot a little bit away from it, just so I can get some other things going in here. And one of the things I've kind of been alarmed by is this whole taking over DC thing, how he's putting in troops. I understand the idea, you know. The city's gone crazy with crime. We got to put the troops in there to bring it back. I get that. But I look at that the same way I look at the ICE situation. Like, yeah, I mean, you got to get criminals out and stuff, but I'm looking at the way they're doing it. And the way they're doing this DC thing. And all I'm thinking is, they could turn this whole thing against someone like me. They could weaponize it against normal citizens anytime they wanted to. You know what I mean? Like, they could, the methods they're using here with the troops going into places and getting people out, it's like he's almost practicing these articles and ideas, and I forget what article it is to get the troops into DC. And it's, as a white guy, I'm like, good. You know, anything you can do about the browns and blacks is great. But on the other hand, it's like, well, what if they decide to use this method against anti-Semites or something like that? Or fucking, you know, or someone like me. This could be used against people like me. Very easily. Just a different target. So when I see stuff like this, it's like, you know, you want to cheer it on, of course, but because of course you do, but at the same time, it's like, fuck. They're just practicing. I'll be right back. Got Craig coming back up Friday to, we're going to do some video stuff, talk more about some stuff. I don't know exactly what, but look up. I did a couple videos with him when he was down here. I did like 3. And really only one of them was really concerning, you know, my origin story as a demon chaser. I just don't know, like, what, you know, we could get more into detail on some of the stories, but basically, I think we covered the outline of it all, like how it began and what was happening. But, you know, it's weird. Like, I don't have any exact bullet points I want to hit. I was just talking to him about it and trying to bring up things that I remember about that summer and the weirdness that went on with it. But, you know, right after that, like, you know, a couple of years later, we had COVID, and COVID just fucking changed everything. It changed everything about this area, for worse, you know, and that affected a lot of the activity too. But whenever we're together, there's usually some kind of weird thing that happens. We were talking about that Don Quixote experience with a guy with no eyes. Yeah, like, people will, like, if we stay in one place for a long enough time, they start coming after us. I have a similar problem with a friend of mine that works in town. Sometimes I go into her work, and we'll start exchanging information, you know, pertinent to the topic, spiritual warfare, demons and stuff like that. And people will come out of the woodwork to break it up, to stop it. I remember one time, this one woman was going wild, calling her a cunt and everything, like really unhinged and didn't make sense. It was overdoing it for the situation. To me, it was like, I was explaining to her what was going on, and she kind of understood too, because you could see it. It was just they want to break you out. They don't like the exchange of that kind of information. Because to them, as I explained it before, it's like you are a cut in their system, in their body, and they react like white blood cells. They just come right for you to try to fix the wound in their body. So when they see like two wounds kind of conspiring to be better wounds, or to exchange more information, or to make themselves more dangerous for it, they come running a lot faster and with a lot more volume, with a lot more intensity. How you doing? Yeah, it's really weird. Like, you can see it happening. It just starts happening. People will come for you. With me and Craig, like, we when we go out, we like to keep moving around. We don't stay in any place too long, because if we do, we just attract people, you know. And it's not always a demonic thing, but, you know, a lot of times it is. It's like your radar, like they have a radar screen, and you appear like a red dot or a blip on their radar screen when you're in the spiritual warfare game, or when you get on the board. Getting on the board is simply just being aware of what's happening. As soon as you know, right, what's going on, or, you know, you get flagged, and they come for you. I shared this guy in my community post section. This guy, I forget the doctor's name. I'd heard of him before, but never saw him talk until this TV appearance they showed. And after this TV appearance, he was killed. His plane crashed, but he was pretty much killed because of what he was revealing about our situation here, like how things work here, what we are. And he was showing this thing. I'll leave a link in the bottom so you can see it. He was showing like the physical realm. And he had this drawing out, and he was like, see this bottom part here? This is the physical realm. This is the hard realm. And these are people at the bottom that, like, here's Joe, and here's Jill, and here's Stephanie. He said we have our own kind of view and our own kind of perspective of the area that we see in front of us that we can take in. He said, but as you go further away from the bodies, those frequencies of what you can see, they kind of overlap and merge together until it gets to a point where you're no different from the person next to you. You are the person next to you, and you're one thing. It's explaining how consciousness works as a total, complete thing. Like how I would say we're one person, we're one entity, we're God's child, split into these different points of attention expressing themselves as individuals. He basically was talking about this in 1979. Another thing he talked about too is the fact that how the mental health scenario works. He's like, what's happening is you have people that can begin to see some of the other, you know, he said people call it other dimensions, but it's not other dimensions. It's the same dimension. You just see more of it. He said, so you have someone that can, like, for instance, see old relatives. That was his example. And like, hey, Mom, that's Grandma in the corner. And the family's like, oh, we got to get him to a doctor. They get him to a doctor. He gets him on prescription drugs, and he doesn't see anything anymore. And that's how they keep people in the matrix. That's how they, you know, if you go off script, you get a script. You know, just like I said. It's just weird. Like, this is stuff I've come into, you know, within the last decade. This guy was talking, homeboy was talking about this shit in 1979. And they killed him for it. Kilt. K-I-L-T. So I'm drinking my coffee. I want to have a quick cigarette before I go upstairs. What's that doing right here? Oh, you know the car? Oh, is that dummy? Oh, I'm talking to myself now. Oh, it's just the guy that's here. I saw some of the bushes, and I was like, what the fuck's going on with it? You know, I have to watch these kind of things. And I'm standing up there, and so I turned the camera off so I could have my cigarette and drink a coffee, because I only have 2 arms. And like, people walk by there. You know, the whole time I was out there, just tons of people walking by. You know, it's kind of a busy street. And I'm like, getting my fucking cigarette together, and I'll come in the street, I clock a tarantula head. And I'm like, oh, they can't all be fucking assholes. I'm just gonna fucking stay right where I'm not running away. Because my first instinct is get away, because you know there's gonna be a problem. So it's like, whatever, see, I really just walk away. Of course there's a problem. Of course. He sees me and he's like, he starts making a motion with his hands for a cigarette. And he's saying, cigarette. When one of those type of people, black people, get anywhere near your vicinity and they can interact with you in some way, if they get close enough to talk to you, they 100% will every single time. Every single time. Unless they're doing something. Like a little while after him, another one walked up, but he had his headphones on, so he was wrapped up in something. So I didn't even say anything, so I just kind of shook my head no. He didn't like that at all. He kept walking, but he starts like spurging up, fucking asshole, fucking motherfucker. Probably said some shit about being white and stuff. And it's like, that's why, you know, that's why I'm the way I am. You know, every single interaction is bad. Either starts bad or it ends bad, like it becomes bad. You know, because a lot of times they'll start like, hey, I did blah, 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 and then they eventually, if they want something, or maybe they'll start clowning you in some way, just sizing you up. It's like, I don't want anything to do with this. I don't like you. I don't want to be your friend. I don't want to give you anything. But to be fair, like most people, when they ask you for a cigarette, if you don't give it to them, they kind of freak out here. It's how it is. But no one else was bugging me. I saw the tarantula head come up the street. I'm like, they can't all. I'm just standing here. I'm not running away into my garage. I should have, because I almost had an altercation. Whatever, man. It's like, that's just how it is, you know. And it's like, the guy hates me anyway, you know. But I don't like him very much at all either. I try to avoid people like him. You know, I stay far away. I don't even want to get, because like I said, like they're incapable of just going about their own business. Like if you get in their vicinity and they notice you, they're gonna come, like they have to interact with you. They have to. They can't just keep walking. They gotta interact. Yeah, I just stand right here. You know, in front of the street, he's making the hand motion. Cigarette. Like to give him one. Like, I didn't even say anything. I just shook my head no. And I know there's a, when you don't do something they like, or when you do something that they don't like, you're always like, there's always that fucking chance you're gonna have a problem. You're gonna interact. You're gonna have an altercation. You know. And he kept walking, but he was had a little freak out to himself over there, kept looking back at me. It's like, you know, I didn't move. I stayed here. But it's like, you know, all these people walk by, and the one fucking tarantula head that comes along, they just can't leave you alone. Yeah. What are you gonna do? There was a time when they weren't here, and that time was 2019. The good old days. I think we should go back to the good old days. I think we're gonna have to sooner or later, because they're fucking out of control. Excuse me, what a peg. Oh my God, what's wrong with me? Well, thanks for popping in. And until next time, there's the mountains. Don't blame the teacher, blame the school.